By one estimate, more than 40 million Americans with disabilities are eligible to vote in this election. But some of them say they feel excluded from the process. It's not just hurdles at polling places that keep them from voting independently and privately. Many say candidates don't address their needs and concerns. Blair Waltman-Alexan of Austin PBS looks at one group trying to boost both accessibility and visibility.
This voter rally in central Austin looks a lot like many others that have been taking place around the country. Attendees enjoy snacks, experts field questions about the voting process.
When are you going to go vote? How are you going to get there?
And just generally try to get people excited about the election. But this group also faces some very specific challenges, and they have particular issues that they want lawmakers to address.
You go to vote at a polling site and you bring a person of your choosing to serve as an assistant, but you're turned away by poll workers. What do?
This rally is being hosted by Rev Up Texas, a nonpartisan coalition that aims to empower people with disabilities to be more involved in electoral politics. Bob Kafka is a longtime advocate with ADAPT, a local disabilities rights group.
We went from the street protesting the legislation, the passage of the Americans with Disabilities Act, and now we are starting to move to be much more visible at the ballot box.
Since then, it's grown. There are over 20 state coalitions across the country. But there's also been an increase in ballot access obstacles. According to the Brennan Center, at least 30 states have passed voting restriction laws since the last presidential election. Many of those curtail mail-in and absentee voting, like a Texas law that limits counties to a single drop-off location for ballots. But reaching that location can be an all-day journey for voters like Nancy Crowther.
It took me over 3 hours. It was several buses. I don't think the community understands what a burden it is, but I have to trust that my vote was counted, because that's the whole goal.
Kafka says that federal laws have improved ballot access overall, but it's hard to make sure that the laws are being implemented statewide.
In Texas, there are 254 counties. It is very difficult to know are all the counties actually implementing to the letter the Help America Vote Act. People might have difficulty in terms of poll places that may not be physically accessible, or they may be questioned if you bring an interpreter. We've seen advances in that area. By no means have we solved all those things.
While ballot access is important, it's not the only thing that Kafka and Rev Up are fighting for.
What's more important and what we want to talk about today is use your power.
He wants candidates and other people with disabilities to see themselves as a powerful voting bloc.
The big issue where we're evolving is to be thought of as an interest group that can influence the outcome of public policy, because ultimately your vote needs to convert into something that you want your candidate to do.
A 2022 study by Rutgers University found that there were over 15 million voters with disabilities in the country. If they voted at the same rate as the overall population, that could equal about 2 million votes. Enough, Kafka points out, to make a major impact.
Think about that. Georgia, last election, was won by less than 12,000 votes. If the disability community would vote one way or the other, it could swing that state. Are the candidates looking at that? Not yet.
If you don't ask for help, you ain't gonna get help. That's the way I look at it.
Kafka says there are a number of issues that disabled voters care about, including Medicaid expansion and enforcement of the Americans with Disabilities Act. But another major issue is community integration.
That means live as independently as possible in the community, not be forced to go in a nursing home.
A major factor in whether people with disabilities can stay in their homes and communities is having assistance from caregivers.
What did your card have on?
They provide essential services, but the wages are low, according to advocate and caregiver Kathy Cranston.
Under Medicaid-funded programs, it is so low. They start us at $10.60 an hour, and we can in no way compete. Out there, the free market, they're paying $20 or more an hour. You need to be mindful when all of these decisions that you're making it about my life, about the people that I serve. All these different issues are interconnected. You can't separate it.
Back at the rally, groups join in virtually from across the state. Even though they may face obstacles, they are excited to make their voices heard in this election and the next.
By making the disability vote a powerful tool, it will help change what's going on.
For PBS News Weekend, I'm Blair Waltman-Alexan in Austin.